Okay, everybody. Everybody have a chance to eat their lunch? Welcome to part of the government shutdown.
Those people stuff.
In spite of all the things that have gone bad this morning, Carl is still here with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to just step up the pace a bit, put out a few announcements, let Carl talk so anybody that's still hungry can get something to eat before they go back to work. Okay. So with that, I'll go ahead and introduce Carl. Everybody knows him. He's been here several times. If you didn't vote for him, shame on you.
Exactly.
Fillmore is what you get.
Kind of like that introduction, particularly it kind of pushes the envelope for a service club like Lions Club. If you didn't vote for him, shame on you. Thanks for that vote of confidence. You know, whenever I come back to this club, I remember just kind of the series of conversations we've had together. First time I appeared before this club, I was a businessman sponsoring a watchdog project called the San Diego Citizens Budget. And I came before you and I said, you know, the city's finances are not what they appear to be. The city is misstating its financial condition. The emperor has no clothes. We're about to enter a fiscal crisis, and it's driven by our pension system that's not sustainable. I remember at the time, Dick Murphy was mayor, and city managers were saying, don't believe him, we're just fine, all will be well, just give us a bit more money, and it will all settle down. And you know how that turned out. Ultimately, reality caught up with the city of San Diego, and we became Enron by the Sea. Then I appeared here with my friend Donna Fry, and we talked about the need for open government, and we talked about the fact that the pension system was still not sustainable and we needed fundamental reform. A Democrat and a Republican who agreed that the pension system was not sustainable and that we needed more openness in government. We talked about both of those topics that day. And working together, we got a lot done. And then ultimately, the unions, the mayor, the city council, chamber of commerce locked arms together and said, we're going to have a grand compromise. And we're going to be called the Great Coalition. And they rolled out something called Prop D, the sales tax. And they said, the Grand Coalition is us. The Great Compromise is you pay more. Largest tax increase in the history of San Diego. And they offered no reform. Well, I kind of stood up and I said, well, part of your coalition is missing working families. Where are the taxpayers? Where are the small business owners who are going to be adversely affected by a sales tax increase? I remember asking one of the Chamber of Commerce board members, who was the head of a cable company, so you think it's the right thing to do just to raise taxes? Do you mind if I substitute the word sales tax for utility tax or cable tax? Oh, he didn't want that. No, as long as it's someone else paying the bill. Well, San Diegans agreed that we can't just raise taxes and expect a different outcome, can't throw good money after bad. We need fundamental reform, and they rejected that tax increase. So I came back before this club with a pretty voluminous document. Remember it? The Roadmap to Recovery. And I said, here is a 300-page budget plan I released 2 days after we defeated the sales tax, because I said, if we turn down the tax increase, I will produce a balanced budget that does a couple things. Balances without tax or fee increases, restores services that we've lost, because we had seen a decade of street repairs being canceled, water and sewer pipe replacements being canceled, library hours cut by 40% in some of the branches, laying off police and fire, browning out fire stations, the very neighborhood services that we expect, we pay good money for, were being eliminated by the politicians of both parties at City Hall. And so what our budget plan did is it not only balanced without the tax increase, but it found ways to rethink how government works, to re-engineer how each department works, to become faster, better, cheaper, to embrace technology like our new mobile cell phone app to provide a better customer interface to citizens on reporting problems. Countless ideas that I didn't come up with alone. I went around San Diego and I asked for your ideas. And every idea that we got, if we could make it work in the city hall, if we could save money, we put it as part of the plan. And I didn't care whether it was a Democrat or Republican who gave me the idea. I didn't even ask that question. I just said, do you have an idea on how we can save money? So we roll out this plan, which includes the heart and soul of the plan, pension reform. And working with the council, we got the vast majority of that plan adopted on a bipartisan vote. Time after time. Through the legislative process, regular order. But obviously the pension reform issue was the toughest. And we had to turn to the San Diego voters to collect signatures, to qualify that measure, and ultimately pass that at the ballot box. And I was proud of the fact that we built a bipartisan coalition on that effort as well. When you take a look at the final tally, that pension reform initiative passed every council district, north of 8, south of 8. It passed every political party, Democrat, Republican, and Independent. It passed every socioeconomic group, Asian, African American, Latino, young, women. Every demographic said, look, we can't sustain these sorts of payouts. We need a different approach. We need reform. I wanted to review that history that we share because the topic I'm talking about today, some of you might say,